Your child can be adorable, innocent, and sweet, but also infuriating, provoking, and downright rude. And when you're caregiving day in and day out, you may find times when you're struggling to keep your cool. So how can you keep from pulling your hair out or yelling at your child? In psychology, there's a set of tools called coping skills that can be called on in even your most challenging parenting moments to help you respond calmly to your child rather than letting your emotions take over and reacting in a way that you may regret later. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 coping skills that parents in my coaching program report being most useful to help them keep their cool when their child is hitting a nerve. So if you want to feel like you have more control over how your day is going and feel more confident in how you'll react the next time that your child is pushing your buttons, you're in the right place. The first coping skill that I recommend to parents is having a gratitude practice. Now, that may sound a bit cheesy to you. Maybe you've heard of writing in a gratitude journal before and thought, well, that's not for me. But there are other ways to include a gratitude practice in your daily routine. And you may be shocked to find how beneficial it is to your well-being and your parenting satisfaction. Psychology research on gratitude shows that people who have higher levels of gratitude show consistently higher levels of life satisfaction. And that goes for both youth and adults. So grateful people tend to be more helpful, more supportive, more forgiving, and more empathic towards others. Sounds like a great parent, right? Gratitude can energize you for self-improvement. So if your goal is to be a more positive parent, a gratitude practice can help. There are so many things to be grateful for in parenting amidst all of the very real daily stressors and struggles. So for example, my child is healthy. My child is assertive. Look at the bright side on that one. They may seem a little bossy, but they're actually assertive. My child has great lungs. When your child is very vocal or perhaps very upset and using a high tone of voice to tell people that your child has great lungs. So sometimes it's a little perspective shift, and sometimes it's just being grateful for something that's there, like health, which is a huge thing to be grateful for. Now, having a regular gratitude practice is best so that it becomes really second nature for you to think in this way, to think about what could I be grateful for in this moment, or how can I look at this differently and be grateful for what is happening. And you could make gratitude a part of your normal daily routine through things like journaling, if you're interested in that. It could be sharing with a trusted friend. So somebody who you give and take whenever you're feeling grateful for something, you tell them. And whenever they're feeling grateful, they tell you. And it could be that you're sharing with a family member. It could be your partner. It could be your mother. Or it could be something that you say to yourself in your head. Even in those tense moments, I'm really grateful that my child is healthy. They're climbing off that ridiculously high wall of rocks, but I'm grateful that they're able to get up there. Now, regardless of how you integrate a gratitude practice into your daily routine, the potential benefits are huge for both you personally and the way that you interact with your child. The second coping skill that you can try to help stay calm during challenging parenting situations is a motivational mantra. Now, the word mantra sounds kind of fancy, but really it's just a repetitive phrase that you say to yourself, either out loud or just in your head. And so it might be saying something in your tough parenting moments like, you've got this, or this is a tough moment, but it will pass. Or, you know, that saying, you're good enough and smart enough and gosh darn it, people like you. I'm dating myself here, but if you remember that one, you can modify that to parenting and say, you're a good parent, you've got a good child, and gosh darn it, we're going to get through this together. Try out a few different family mantras this week when your child is pushing their limits and see which one works best to help you keep your cool. Now, all of those different mantras and any that you come up like it all help you to carry out my favorite mantra, which is respond rather than react. That's at the essence of intentional parenting. Now, if you find a mantra that works well to help you keep your cool, pop a note in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Now, here's a fun fact that's related to our third parental coping skill. People are more likely to engage in pro-social behavior when they feel like they're being watched. So, for example, if I asked you to make a donation in person, so I'm there with you, asking you in person, as opposed to online, for example, sending you an email, the fact that I'm watching you respond to my request will make you far more likely to donate. And if you donate, you'll be far more likely to donate a higher amount than you would if I were not watching you. And that's just a general pattern amongst people. Now, amazingly, even having just a picture of eyes watching you leads to the same finding. So it doesn't actually have to be me. If there's a picture of eyes watching you donate, you're more likely to donate and to donate more. Now, this trick can be applied to parenting. So here's a question for you. How do you act towards your kids at the park or at a play date versus how you act when you're home alone with your kids? And be honest, it may be that's the same, but for a lot of people, when they think about that question, they say, well, I'm a little more, on my game and when I'm out in public, when I'm in front of friends at the park or at a play day, I'm a little bit better parent. Now, you shouldn't feel constant pressure as a parent to perform at your best all the time. That's just not realistic, and that will lead to burnout. But it can help you to act intentionally towards your child and be the kind of parent that you really hope to be. And so what the trick here is when you're alone with your kids, imagine that you're not. Maybe you think about somebody standing in the corner watching you, whoever you think would help you to feel both relaxed, but also to elevate your parenting just that little bit. Maybe you cut out a picture of eyes and put them around your house if that helps. Now, this trick has saved me on many of my most frustrating parenting days with my 4 children, and I hope that you find it helpful too. Now you have 3 new tricks up your sleeve to use the next time parenting feels overwhelming to help you stay true to your intentions to be a positive parent. I have a proven parenting framework that can help you foster better behavior in your child without yelling, threats, and harsh punishments. Now, if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, you can learn all about it in my next video. Keep up the good work on your amazing parenting journey.